Welcome back to the Neville Goddard son of Abdullah channel. Alright, let's kick this off with a question that's been puzzling minds for centuries. Can a mustard seed really move mountains? I know, it sounds like something out of a fairy tale, but stay with me. We're about to break down one of the most famous biblical verses and reveal how having the faith of a mustard seed isn't just some ancient metaphor. It's a powerful tool for manifesting your dreams. And guess what? Neville Goddard and his mentor Abdullah were all over this before it was cool. So, grab your metaphorical gardening gloves, because we're about to plant some seeds of faith. But seriously, how does this tiny seed, so small you can barely see it, hold the secret to moving mountains, metaphorically speaking? And how does this ancient wisdom tie into Neville Goddard's law of assumption? Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll not only know the answer, but you'll also have the tools to make mountains move in your own life. So let's dive in. Breaking down the mustard seed verse. Let's start by breaking down the biblical verse that inspired this whole thing. You've probably heard it before. If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, "Move from here to there," and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. Now, let's be real. On the surface, this sounds like some serious ancient Jedi mind trick. But there's more to it than meets the eye. The mustard seed is one of the tiniest seeds in the world, but when it grows, it becomes a massive tree. The verse is telling us that even the smallest amount of faith, like a teeny tiny mustard seed, can lead to monumental changes. But here's where it gets juicy. It's not just about having faith, it's about using that faith, planting it, nurturing it, and letting it grow into something powerful. This is where Neville Goddard's law of assumption comes into play. Because in the end, it's not about the size of your faith, but how you assume it will work. So let's take this ancient wisdom and mix it with some Neville Goddard magic. When you combine faith, even if it's just a tiny bit, with the law of assumption, you're not just planting a seed, you're setting yourself up for a full-blown manifestation forest. And trust me, those mountains won't know what hit them. The law of assumption. Explained. Now that we've got the mustard seed on the table, let's dive into the law of assumption, Neville Goddard's secret sauce for manifestation. The law of assumption is all about believing that what you want is already yours. It's about assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled even before it shows up in your physical reality. Sounds simple, right? But here's where people trip up. They think they need to feel that belief 100% of the time. Spoiler alert, you don't. Here's the thing. The power of the mustard seed lies in its potential, not its size. The same goes for your faith. You don't need to be a belief superstar. You just need that tiny spark of faith, that small assumption that what you desire is already on its way. Once you plant that assumption, your subconscious mind, like fertile soil, starts working behind the scenes to make it happen. So, if you're thinking, "I'm not sure if I can do this," congratulations, you're already on the right track. That little bit of faith is your mustard seed. And when you combine it with the law of assumption, you're creating the perfect conditions for your desires to manifest. All you have to do is nurture it, water it with positive thoughts, and watch it grow. Planting the seed, the first step in manifestation. All right, now that you're ready to plant your mustard seed of faith, let's talk about the first step in manifestation, actually planting that seed. This isn't about doing something physically, but about making a decision in your mind. Decide right now what it is that you want to manifest. Maybe it's a new job, a relationship, or, I don't know, finally finding that perfect avocado at the grocery store. Whatever it is, decide on it, and more importantly, assume that it's already yours. Here's the trick. Don't get caught up in the how. You're not in charge of the logistics, you're in charge of planting the seed. Just like you wouldn't dig up a seed every day to check if it's growing, you don't need to obsess over how your desire will manifest. Your job is to assume that it's already done. Imagine what it feels like to have that new job, that perfect relationship, or that flawless avocado in your hand. Feel it, believe it, and then let it go. The universe, or your subconscious, will handle the rest. This is the part where a lot of people freak out because they don't see instant results. But remember, even mustard seeds take time to grow. The key is to keep nurturing that faith, even when you don't see immediate evidence. Trust the process, and remember that your assumption, no matter how small, is enough to set the wheels of manifestation in motion. Nurturing the seed, keeping the faith alive. Okay, so you've planted your mustard seed of faith. Now what? You've got to nurture it. Think of it like taking care of a houseplant. You don't just water it once and call it a day. You've got to keep it in the right environment, give it sunlight, and yes, talk to it occasionally. Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. I've seen you out there chatting up your succulents. Nurturing your faith works the same way. Keep feeding your assumption with positive thoughts and emotions. Visualize your desire as if it's already yours and feel the excitement, the relief, or the joy that comes with it. The more you focus on these positive feelings, the more you're nurturing that seed. And remember, what you focus on expands. But here's the kicker. You've got to keep the weeds out. And by weeds, I mean doubt, fear, and negativity. These are the things that can choke out your manifestation before it even has a chance to grow. If you catch yourself doubting, just gently redirect your thoughts back to your assumption. Remind yourself that your desire is already on its way, and that it's just a matter of time before it shows up. The harvest. Recognizing when your desire manifests. Now, let's talk about the fun part. Harvesting your manifestation. This is when all your hard work, faith, and positive assumptions pay off. But here's the thing, sometimes your manifestation doesn't show up exactly the way you expect. It might come in a different form or through a different avenue than you imagined. That's why it's important to stay open and recognize when your desire has actually manifested. For example, maybe you've been manifesting more money, but instead of winning the lottery, you get a surprise promotion at work. Or maybe you've been trying to manifest a relationship, and suddenly you find yourself connecting with someone you never considered before. The key is to recognize these manifestations, even if they don't come in the exact package you were expecting. Remember, the universe has a way of delivering what you need, not always what you think you want. For example, maybe you've been manifesting more money, but instead of winning the lottery, you get a surprise promotion at work. Or maybe you've been trying to manifest a relationship, and suddenly you find yourself connecting with someone you never considered before. The key is to recognize these manifestations, even if they don't come in the exact package you were expecting. Remember, the universe has a way of delivering what you need, not always what you think you want. So, when your manifestation shows up, don't overlook it just because it doesn't match your exact vision. Celebrate it, embrace it, and acknowledge that your faith and assumptions brought it into reality. The more you recognize these manifestations, the more you'll build confidence in your ability to create the life you desire. And trust me, that's a feeling you'll want to harvest over and over again. What to do when doubt creeps in? All right, let's get real for a minute. What do you do when doubt creeps in? Because let's face it, even the most seasoned manifestors get hit with doubt from time to time. You know those moments when you start questioning if any of this is actually working, or if you're just fooling yourself. Well, spoiler alert, doubt is like a weed. And if you don't deal with it, it can take over your entire garden. But here's the good news. Doubt doesn't have to derail your manifestation. The key is to acknowledge it without giving it power. If you catch yourself doubting, don't freak out. Just remind yourself that it's part of the process and that your job is to gently steer your thoughts back to your original assumption. Think of it like this. If you were driving and hit a pothole, you wouldn't turn around and go home. You'd just keep going. Another great way to deal with doubt is to reaffirm your faith. Go back to your affirmations, revisit your visualization, and remind yourself why you started this journey in the first place. And remember, even if you only have a mustard seed-sized amount of faith, that's all you need. Keep moving forward, keep nurturing that faith, and your manifestation will come to fruition. The role of persistence in manifestation. Let's talk about persistence, because here's the thing. Manifestation isn't always an overnight process. Sometimes it takes time for your desires to come to life, and that's where persistence comes in. You've got to keep going, even when you don't see immediate results. Just like a mustard seed takes time to grow into a tree, your desires need time to manifest. Here's where a lot of people give up. They get impatient, they lose faith, and they stop nurturing their desires. But persistence is key. It's about sticking with your assumptions, continuing to act as if, and trusting that your manifestation is on its way. The more persistent you are, the stronger your faith becomes, and the more unstoppable your manifestation process will be. Remember, every time you persist in the face of doubt, fear, or challenges, you're building your manifestation muscles. And the stronger those muscles get, the easier it becomes to manifest your desires. So keep going, keep believing, and keep nurturing that mustard seed of faith. You're closer to your manifestation than you think. The power of gratitude in manifestation. Now, let's talk about one of the most powerful tools in manifestation: gratitude. I know it might sound a little cliché, but trust me, gratitude is like rocket fuel for your desires. When you're grateful for what you have, and even for what's coming your way, you're aligning yourself with the energy of abundance. And when you're aligned with abundance, manifestation happens a whole lot faster. Here's a little tip. Start expressing gratitude for your desires as if they've already manifested. Say things like, "I'm so grateful for my new job," or "Thank you for the financial abundance that's flowing into my life." This not only keeps your faith strong, but it also reinforces your assumption that your desires are already yours. And when you consistently feel gratitude, you're telling the universe, "More of this, please." The more you practice gratitude, the more you'll find to be grateful for. It's a positive feedback loop that accelerates your manifestation process. So keep your gratitude game strong and watch how quickly your desires start to show up in your life. How to stay consistent in your manifestation practice. All right, by now you're probably thinking, this all sounds great, but how do I stay consistent with my manifestation practice? Good question, because consistency is crucial. Without it, your mustard seed of faith might never get the chance to grow into that mighty tree. But with consistency, you're creating a solid foundation for your desires to manifest. The key to consistency is making your manifestation practice a part of your daily routine. Just like you brush your teeth or eat breakfast, make time for visualization, affirmations, and gratitude. It doesn't have to be a huge time commitment. Just a few minutes a day can make a world of difference. The important thing is to keep the momentum going, even on the days when you don't feel like it. And here's a pro tip: track your progress. Write down your successes, no matter how small, and celebrate them. This not only keeps you motivated, but it also reinforces your faith in the process. Remember, consistency builds confidence, and confidence speeds up manifestation. So stick with it and watch as your desires start to unfold. Your faith can move mountains. So, there you have it, the full breakdown of how having the faith of a mustard seed can move mountains in your life, using Neville Goddard's law of assumption. We've covered everything from planting that seed of faith to nurturing it, staying persistent, and using gratitude to accelerate the process. Now it's time for you to put this knowledge into action and start manifesting the life you've always dreamed of. Remember, it doesn't matter how small your faith might be, as long as you nurture it, it has the power to create incredible change in your life. So start planting those seeds, keep your faith strong, and trust that your desires are on their way. You've got everything you need to move mountains, so go out there and make it happen. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more powerful manifestation content. And hey, if you're ready to take your manifestation game to the next level, check out our exclusive coaching programs in the description below. We're here to help you every step of the way on your journey to success. Until next time, keep believing, keep manifesting, and remember, your faith is more powerful than you think.